the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm having some technical difficulties. It's the tape. Okay. Call the roll, please.
Calhoun.
Here.
Dempsey. Fournier.
Here.
Kraft.
Here.
McGarity. Here. Rick.
Here.
York.
Move to excuse Commissioner Dempsey.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Fournier.
Yes.
Kraft.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
York. Yes. Calhoun.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to announcements, acknowledgments, communications, and reports. I don't see anything listed. Does anybody have anything that they would like to add? Okay, we'll move on to adoption of the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Questions or comments about the agenda? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Fournier.
Yes.
Kraft.
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
York. Yes. Calhoun.
Yes.
All right, this is the portion of the meeting where we invite the public to address the commission. All that we ask is that you come to the microphone, you give us your full name, your residential address, and you abide by our 3-minute rule. This is the first opportunity of 2. We do have a second opportunity at the end of the meeting. Whoever would like to address the commission, come on up.
Good evening. Ruthie Stevenson, 69 Bain Street. I've been coming up here for numerous years concerning the parking in the neighborhood of the post office. And it's gotten really out of hand. Some days it's as much as 50 cars. And it goes all the way from midway north Bain Street around Rones, from northbound Gratiot on Clinton River Drive down to Meadle. And if there's a special event at the church or something like that, or a funeral, there's no place to park. If they overpark their parking lot, there's no street parking. And to solve this problem is not to put up on one side of the street no parking, because guess what? The people in the neighborhood can't park if there's all-day post office parking there. And it's really gotten totally out of hand. Something has to be done. This is a neighborhood, not an all-day parking lot.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission? All right, seeing none, we will go ahead and move on to administrative responses to issues or questions raised during previous meetings. Oh, okay, go ahead. We'll allow it.
My name is Curtis Harrington. I live at 60 Deal Drive.
Okay.
And my concern today is an ongoing concern. We're not getting our mail delivered on Deal Drive. There was an incident last year that I'm aware of. The mailman was attacked by my neighbor at 50 Deal Drive. It was addressed, police were called, postmaster was involved. The dogs remained. Now we have another incident, and sometime in mid to late December, there was another incident with the dogs. And our mail was stopped. We got a letter of 10 January saying that our mail was delayed because of issues with dogs in the neighborhood. I understand some of you have been in contact with the postmaster. I understood he was supposed to be here today, but of course he's not. So I would like to know what's going to be done and what can be done when we have nuisance dogs in the neighborhood that prevents me, myself, from getting mail. I get medications through the mail. I'm sure some of my elderly neighbors get it. Of course, the weather today is it's like 5 degrees out now, and everyone can't go to the post office to pick up their mail or pick up their medicines. So I'd like to know what procedures can we take to get this resolved, and who do we talk to actually come to some kind of conclusion on this. Okay, thank
Thank you. All right. Is there any further questions or comments for the commission?
Good evening. My name is Rhonda Powell. I live at 365 Plain River Drive. And my question is more of a follow-up to my neighbors. I do not live on Deal Drive, but I do have a concern if any of our community members are just living in fear. We have a lot of seniors in our community, and I would like to know why it is that animal control has not taken this dog into custody. According to the ordinance, that's what should have happened, and it's completely within their jurisdiction. So now there's been another incident with this dog. So I would like to understand why we're not getting the same services in our community that would be in any other community across Mount Clemens. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time? All right, seeing none, we will go ahead and move on to administrative responses to issues or questions raised during previous meetings. I don't see anything listed. Mr. Shipman, is there anything that you want to add?
There's not.
Okay, we will go to approval of the minutes.
Move to approve the minutes from the work session and the regular meeting of January 6th. As
Support.
presented. Support.
And any questions or comments on the minutes? Call the roll, please.
Fournier,
Yes.
Crab,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
York, Calhoun.
Yes.
Okay, general business 9A, the 2025 CDBG public hearing. I'll entertain a motion to open the hearing.
Open the public hearing for the allocation of CDBG funding for fiscal year 2025.
Support.
Okay, Mr. Shipman.
The city may allocate up to $13,700 in community development block grant funds for fiscal year 2025 from the Macomb Urban County Program for Public Service Organizations, including the city itself. A total of $31,030 was requested by 8 organizations: Care House, Hearts for Homes, Interfaith Volunteer Caregivers, McRest, Maggie's Wigs for Kids, Single Family Living, Wave Project, and Turning Point. The city's recreation department has also requested $13,700 for senior programming activities. The city may also apply for up to 2 capital projects, each with a maximum request of $150,000. These projects must occur in census tract block groups that are primarily residential and will benefit those residents, a majority of which must be considered low or moderate income persons. The purpose of this public hearing is to seek input from residents and organizations on how these funds should be spent. The vote on the allocations is scheduled for the City Commission's February 3rd, 2024 agenda.
Okay, so we need to, are there any questions or comments to that, just to opening the public hearing, because we didn't vote on that yet? Okay.
Since the total of $31,030 was requested, how is that requested? How are they requesting it?
Through
Did-
Brian's office.
The sheets that follow break down each organization and what they're asking for Mount Clemens.
So if an organization wants to be a part of it, they get that application from this office.
Well, from the county, they have to be approved by the county, and then they submit all of their requests through the county.
That comes out around.
When does that process happen with the county?
Yeah, that process starts toward the end of 2024.
And that's when people request the funding.
Public service organizations, they apply directly through the county, and the county passed those requests on to us.
And because we're a CDBG non-entitlement community, so all of our requests are through the county, not through, because some communities get them directly. and not their funds go directly to them. The county gives us this, like they're giving us the 13,700. Some communities who are bigger communities, over 20,000, isn't it 20,000 is the threshold, Brian, to be an entitlement community? 50? Okay, darn. We're closer to 20. Okay, so we need to vote on opening the public hearing for this. Call the roll, please.
Crap,
Yes.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
All right, this is the portion of the public hearing that we invite anyone who would like to comment on the CDBG public hearing.
Ruthie Stevenson, 69 Bain Street. Did I hear you correctly when you stated 150,000 to Mount Clemens community?
No, we are allowed to apply for an additional 2 grants in the amount of $150,000 apiece for capital projects.
Okay, and when you state capital projects, what would they be?
The last one that we did would be the Carnes Playground.
Okay, because some streets in that area are so impassable to where you can't even go 5 miles an hour down them. And I was just thinking some of that capital money maybe can be used to, straighten those problems out.
Thank you. Is there anyone who would like to address the commission about the CDBG funding? It is, yes. Yep, absolutely.
Good evening. My name is Christina Droz, and I'm the Finance Director for Maggie's Wigs for Kids in Michigan. Thank you for the opportunity to present this evening for consideration of a CDBG grant. We are a local grassroots 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides wigs and support services to children ages 3 to 18 at no charge throughout the state of Michigan. Founded in 2003, we have helped over 5,600 Michigan children, and the need is great. We have helped several families in the Mount Clemens community since we started our program 22 years ago. In addition to the wigs, we are always growing our support services to help kids emotionally, psychologically, and socially. We've had great success with our skincare and makeup classes over the last year that have helped our kids embrace a positive self-image. We've expanded our VR for Kids program, which provides virtual reality headsets to support them with pain management, meditation, and relaxation while they journey through their health challenge. This technology is in place at Stanford and Yale pediatric hospitals and started with kids with cancer until we expanded it to the children with other forms of hair loss. All of our recipients are entitled to these services and more. We are in the process of building an addition to our wellness center to house more wigs, class supplies, and gifts for welcome bags filled with comfort items given to each child on their first visit, so we continue to grow. This evening, we are asking for $1,200 through the CDBG grant to help sponsor a wig for one child and their family from the Mount Clemens area, and any amount of funding is appreciated. Most importantly, if you ever know of a child in need of our services, we ask that you please refer them to us. We help everyone, we charge nothing, we turn no one away. We can be reached at 586-772-6656 or www.wigs4kids.org. We are active on social media as well. Thank you for your consideration, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
I don't have a question, I just have a statement. Thank you all for the work that you do. For years I've heard about the amazing work that your program has done. And so thank you all for coming and letting us know about it.
It takes a community to make it happen.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Thank you very much for your presentation. We appreciate it, and for your work.
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, yeah, please, of course.
Hi, my name is Kat Garvey. I'm the Operations and Special Events Coordinator for Care House. Care House is the Macomb County Child Advocacy Center, with our main office located in Mount Clemens and a satellite office located in Warren. Care House is the only agency in Macomb County who offers comprehensive services for child victims of sexual abuse, physical abuse, or children who have witnessed a violent act, as well as their non-offending family members. Our goals are to minimize trauma for the child victim and to provide coping skills, advocacy, and case management for the child and their family. We collaborate with all law enforcement jurisdictions in Macomb County, as well as the FBI, Homeland Security, and Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, Children's Protective Services, the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office, and medical and mental health professionals. Care House serves as a beacon of hope for child victims of sexual and physical abuse, as well as children who have witnessed a violent act, providing them with a safe haven where their voices can be heard and their needs can be met. Not only will children receive a forensically sound, fact-gathering, developmentally appropriate interview by a highly trained forensic interviewer, but their family will also receive information, support, and guidance through a time of profound stress and crisis. These services include crisis counseling, child safety and trauma assessments, parent and child support groups, trauma-focused therapy sessions, family advocacy, access to forensic medical examinations, referrals to other needed community services, and emergency transportation and financial assistance. As the designated counsel in Macomb County for the Michigan's Children's Trust Fund, Care House also offers child abuse prevention information, education, and training for professionals and to the community at large. Families are never charged for the services they receive at Care House, and we provide services to all referred children and their non-offending family members. I'm proud to report that according to our most recent independent financial audit, 92 cents of every dollar that comes to Care House is specifically devoted to serving children and families in our community. Since 1996, we've conducted over 11,300 child forensic interviews, with 340 of those children residing in Mount Clemens. Last year in 2024, we coordinated 620 forensic interviews, including 14 children residing in Mount Clemens. We depend on support from the community to provide a voice for child victims and a safe place for them to be heard. We are very grateful for past support from the City of Mount Clemens and respectfully request your consideration for funding this upcoming year in the amount of $6,000, which will support services for 4 qualified Mount Clemens child victims and their families. Of course, we would be grateful for any amount you are able to allocate to us. For more information about Care House, we invite you to visit our website at www.mccarehouse.org and to follow us on Facebook. Thank you for your time and consideration. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Anybody got any?
No questions, but I love what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming up here to
Yeah.
advocate.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Tim Joy. I'm the grants manager for WAVE Project. We're an organization that supports the unsheltered homeless in Macomb County. And we have 3 different programs that have been operating for several years. The one that you're probably familiar with is our mobile shower service that comes every Saturday morning to the First Methodist Church here in downtown Mount Clemens. The second program is an Essentials Van program, which also accompanies that shower unit every Saturday morning at First Methodist Church, where they provide critical clothing to the folks that are unsheltered here in Mount Clemens. That would be anything from hoodies and sweatshirts to underwear and socks, as well as in the winter months, obviously coats and gloves and things of that sort to keep them warm. I'm here today because we started a brand new program this winter called the Macomb County Winter Shelter. And we started it because we identified that there was a huge need for the increase of shelter beds in the winter months so that people don't die of hypothermia and freeze to death. And we just opened this year. It's opened at the Trinity Lutheran Church in Warren off of Van Dyke. And I'm here today to request CDBG funds because a lot of the individuals that attend our winter shelter do come from Mount Clemens. Because of our shower program at First Methodist Church, as well as we have a relationship with Grace Episcopal Church here in Mount Clemens that have a feeding program. So through their promotion and through their communication, folks that are here that are unsheltered in Mount Clemens have learned about our program and have been attending it. Today is a good day to come in front of the City Commission because it's 6 degrees out, wind chill below zero, and our numbers at the winter shelter last night increased quite a bit. We've been serving 83 people each and every night, and the number's been increasing each night, and I'm sure tonight we'll probably reach our maximum of 100 people. We're requesting $4,000 to assist with the security costs that come with operating the shelter. We do have a professional security group that we've contracted with to provide security, and we think that's one of the reasons why not only the guests feel safe, but we also have host churches that come each and every week to provide volunteers and to provide food for our guests. And it keeps it normal, it keeps it honest, and it keeps the folks coming back because they feel safe, they feel that their personal possessions are safe, and anyone that is misbehaving, we have a good cooperation with the police department and with the fire department, with EMS, and we've created a very loving, beautiful environment for the folks to enjoy and keep safe during the winter months. So that's it. If you want any more information, you can go to waveproject.org to learn about our operation. But this is our first year, but we're definitely going to be continuing it. The need is there. The demand has been huge. And today is a good example. If we weren't open today, there would be 83 people out on the streets with nowhere to go. So.
Do you send a van or something to pick them up, or how do they get to these shelters?
Well, luckily, the shelter is just 2 blocks off of Van Dyke, which is a great bus route. So most of the folks get there by bus. But unfortunately, we don't have funding for bus tickets, but that's one of our goals for next year is to raise additional funds to be able to provide that. They get there. I don't know how they get there, but they do get there, and the numbers are growing. And we are in a good central area, being along the bus route and being close to other areas that have encampments and other areas where the unsheltered folks do find shelter. But I've been on the board of McCrest, which I'm sure you're familiar with, for 16 years. So I'm very familiar with the homeless service community and the needs. And I can attest today, in the 16 years I've been involved with McCrest, we have not had one open bed the entire time I've been involved. So there's roughly about 130 shelter beds in the county, and the demand far exceeds that. And the winter months, I just feel it's all of our responsibility to provide that kind of service in our county. So I thank you for the consideration. And any other questions about it?
Yeah.
Where is the shelter?
It's at Trinity Lutheran Church in Warren. It's
Chat.
near 9.5 Mile and Van Dyke. But I can attest we keep very good data, and I can attest that there's a lot of folks from Mount Clemens, and it's primarily the folks that use our mobile shower service and the feeding programs at Grace Episcopal Church.
So Mount Clemens has already started. There will be a delivery. I'm in contact with someone from Ways in the Church with hygiene packs, which is highly needed. But in the past, that number goes beyond 100. That church is going to begin to open up even their upstairs and let the people come in and lie down. So with you being there, that's amazing. Thank you, because they didn't have that before. But all they need is a warm place to stay through the night. They get a nice warm meal, and then they get something to leave when they leave out and come back. But to have a shower, to wash their hair, it's a blessing. So thank you for what you're doing. And the city is going to continue to collect those hygiene bags to drop them off so that we can do our part with helping the residents of the county.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm Sharnita Johnson, Director of the Shelter Program at Turning Point. Turning Point has been providing a safe place for families fleeing violence since 1980. Between July 1st, 2023 and June 30th, 2024, Turning Point served 107 Mount Clemens residents. Turning Point's emergency shelter is a safe haven for survivors of domestic and sexual violence. It provides immediate safety, crisis intervention, and resources to families trying to establish basic safety. The project is multifaceted approach to ending the cycle of violence in families. Turning Points usually has 2 shelter case managers meet with every new shelter resident within 24 hours of their arrival to develop an individualized plan based on their goals. They also work on a plan for safety, housing, and financial stability. This plan can include literacy, immigration, credit repair, supportive counseling for domestic and sexual violence after leaving the shelter. The Emergency Shelter Case Management Program has developed collaborations and linkage to multiple systems, organizations, businesses, and churches that can help domestic violence victims maintain their safety when leaving shelter. There is strong evidence which states that improving survivors' knowledge of and access to community resources leads to a higher quality of life and less risk of reabuse over time. Resource building serves as a protective factor that enhances women's safety over time. Turning Point continues to provide comprehensive services to children while in shelter after they leave. Children in shelter receive crisis support, tutorial and educational assistance, safety planning, recreation activities 7 days a week. A day camp runs all summer. Many children keep in contact with us for many months after leaving shelter. A child crisis advocate works with children and teens in shelter and is able to follow them after they leave shelter to continue offering individual and group supportive services. Turning Point Shelter Facility is ADA accessible, has increased educational, indoor and outdoor play areas for children and teens, private sleeping and bathroom facilities, multi-purpose rooms that functions as a dining room and also a family activity area, private dedicated counseling spaces, and spaces for other nonprofits to be on site to deliver their services. If Turning Point is awarded the $3,000 of CDBG funds we are asking for, Turning Point will be able to provide hotel accommodations to survivors and their families when shelter beds are not available. They will also be able to receive food, emergency items, and other basic needs. Funds are also provided to survivors and their families to wash clothes and for their transportation costs. Thank you for your time and your consideration, and I am able and willing to answer any questions you may have.
Anybody?
So familiar with Turning Point.
I know.
The
Yeah.
things that they do, it's been part of our community for a long time. We're very appreciative.
Thank
of all
you.
the good work
It's always been a good partner. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Shorter than everybody. Karen Bates Gager, 147 Ludwig, but I'm here tonight representing Hearts for Homes, which is housed in Grace Episcopal Church, like Tim was referencing. You may have seen the picture in the Macomb Daily last week of me freezing outside the church, talking about our homeless population. We do have a huge problem in this county with the homeless population and the fact that there is no place for them to go. The winter shelter is amazing, but there is no place for women and children to go. It has to be adults over 18. What Hearts for Homes does is we help the homeless families with children get into housing, essentially, safe, affordable housing. We do that by providing security deposits of up to $1,000 per family What we have found is the average cost of a one-bedroom apartment in Macomb County is almost $1,200 at this point.
Right.
And the problem is everybody wants a month and a half security deposit, which means they need to come up with about $1,800. These are working families. They can afford the rent. What they can't afford is to save up the $1,800 to get themselves into a place. So we help bridge that gap by providing $1,000. Then we collaborate with Good Shepherd Coalition, Macomb Charitable Foundation, MCA, a variety of people. We try to get that money together so we can get these families off the streets, out of their cars, out of somebody's basement, and into safe, affordable housing. What I will say of, I am familiar pretty much with every organization that has been here this evening, and every single person or every single organization is incredibly worthy. And I know there is not enough block grant money to go around to, to help everybody. And I know Mount Clemens has a history of keeping most of those funds in-house to help our own low-income residents in the city of Mount Clemens. But we are going to ask you for $3,000 anyway, much like everybody else, because again, all of us are doing great work. Everybody needs help. This is a horrible time of year because it is so bloody cold outside, and people are in dire straits. Our phones are ringing off the hook with people, you know, on the streets. If I get another phone call from a mom with 2 kids living in her car, I think I'm going to lose it myself. So just all of that being said, it's incredibly difficult to take care of the populations that we have in our own community. And it does take a village. I think Spencer said it takes a village, it takes a community. We all need to do our part. And again, I know there's not enough funds. Obviously, we all would appreciate it. You can sprinkle that money around. But I thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
I have been working in nonprofit work in this, actually in the city of Mount Clemens for more than 20 years at this point. So, I mean, I've been at Turning Point, I was at Habitat, I have seen all of this, and unfortunately, it is not getting better, it is only getting worse.
Yeah.
So, just know that. Grace is now serving over 100 people every Wednesday night at their community dinners. Over 100. There's that many at the shelter. And again, we're all working together. Tim and I know each other very well. You are the new director. I don't know you, but I know tons of people at Turning Point. And again, we're all doing our part. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Okay.
No, she said him.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's moved up.
My name is Sherry Warnock, and I'm a volunteer coordinator, Interfaith Volunteer Caregivers. The number of older adults in Macomb County is expected to increase by more than 90% by 2040. This group of seniors needs extra support due to changes that come with aging, chronic health conditions, or disabilities. At the same time, family structures are changing, often leaving seniors with nobody nearby to help. For over 30 years, our nonprofit organization has been providing free basic assistance to hundreds of frail, older, and physically challenged adults, helping them to remain safely in their homes with the help of hundreds of volunteers. This assistance helps with transportation, chores, respite breaks, errands, and reducing loneliness. These opportunities provide fulfilling experiences for those who wish to volunteer, as well as support for those in need. The CDBG Safe at Home project of IVC is part of our larger chore and repair program. The project was developed to provide additional chore and repair services in communities that allocate funding for this purpose. Safe at Home allows us to assist low to moderate income seniors and physically challenged adults with indoor and outdoor chores, minor home repairs, and routine housekeeping. We identify individuals who cannot do these tasks on their own and have limited resources and prioritize those with the greatest need. We are requesting CDBG funds to increase the number of low-income citizens we can reach to grow our program, as well as to coordinate the volunteers who do those services. IVC provides almost 20,000 hours of help over all of its services to nearly 500 people in need each year. In past years, when we were awarded CDBG funding from Mount Clemens, we were able to increase the number of projects and people we served each year with the funds. We hope for CDBG funding for this 2025-26 program year so that we can continue to build momentum and offer the service to more Mount Clemens residents in the future. We regularly get phone calls and notes of thanks for the things that our volunteers do. Like one volunteer who went out to fix a running toilet noticed that a screen was sticking, and he fixed that while he was there too. Another volunteer stepped in and did some housework and chores for a woman who was unexpectedly hospitalized and was worried about her cats at home. The volunteer went in and took care of that. So they go above and beyond, helping these seniors stay in their homes as long as possible with just a little bit of assistance. So other things in this project include replacing locks, washing windows, raking leaves, routine housekeeping, installing smoke alarms, any of those kinds of things that some people just can't do for themselves anymore. So with the CDBG funding, the Safe at Home project can continue to grow. And we thank you for your consideration. Any dollar amount granted is greatly appreciated in our program, and we hope to continue to partner with you going forward. And if you know anyone here tonight knows anyone who could use this sort of help, please call our office. And especially if you know anyone who's willing to volunteer, we can't do this work without the help of the volunteers. So go to our website, ivcinfo.org. I'd be happy to talk to you about volunteering.
Wonderful.
Do you have any questions I can answer?
Another great organization.
Yes, it
I know
is.
several families that you've helped, and it's great, amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission for this public hearing? All right, seeing none, I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Move to close the public hearing.
Support.
Any questions or comments about closing the public hearing?
I would just like to say that thank you all for coming, and this is one of the reasons I love Mount Clemens is how many people with generous hearts are here.
I would like to ask a question. In our notes where it says whether funds were recaptured or not, can anybody explain what that means? Is that something we can talk about here?
I believe that's unused funds.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, the county will recapture the funds if those are unused.
Okay, great, thank you.
Do we have any capital projects that we're looking at using the funds? The
Yes.
150?
Yeah, we're looking at phase 2 for the Carnes Playground, and then rest for fire department equipment to complete the SCBA purchase.
Oh, very good.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? All right, call the, sorry, go ahead, Spencer.
Recreation Department's request, is this something that can be paid out of the general fund? Or does it have to be paid for out of CDBG?
It can be paid out of general fund. Obviously, we utilize that money, so we're not utilizing general funds. That amount isn't currently in the budget. We do have a new budget coming up.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
It
Call the roll. Oh, go ahead, no, please, I don't want anybody else.
For the Mount Clemens Parks and Rec, this is the 3rd year for them asking to be a recipient. Were all of their funds spent previously?
That's my understanding, yes.
Thank you. It just doesn't mention it in their report.
Questions? Okay. Call the roll, please.
McGarity,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Calhoun,
Yes.
Fournier. Yes. And Kraft.
Yes. Okay, we will move to consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Call the roll, please.
Rick,
Yes.
York,
Yes.
Calhoun.
Yes.
Fournier. Yes. Kraft,
Yes.
McGarity.
Yes.
Okay, city manager's report, Mr. Shipman.
The Historical Commission had a successful sold-out Christmas Homes Tour last month. Their next event is a speaker series being held on Saturday, March 22nd at the Mount Clemens Library. Details will be released soon. An apartment development approved in 2022 at 277 North Rose is expected to begin construction soon. Named Mineral Lofts, it is located between North Groesbeck and Dunham Road. The first phase will include 40 units with a clubhouse, office, and gym. We would like to thank Scott Rocker for his service and dedication to the City Parks and Recreation Department. Scott has retired from the Department of Public Works after over 29 years of service to the city and its residents. Scott will be hard to be replaced. Some big shoes to fill there. The ice skating ponds at Leonore, Dorothea, Lawndale, and Wilson Parks have been flooded and should be ready for ice skating. We will continue to work on them throughout the winter, provided the weather stays below freezing. Join us from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. the second Monday every month at Carnes Community Center for bingo night to win some fabulous prizes and make unforgettable memories. Join us for a magical winter celebration with a bus ride to Zenders in Frankenmuth, Michigan on January 30th. Space is limited. Please call 586-469-6800, extension 520 to sign up. Reminder, the Mount Clemens Fire Department has purchased 120 smoke detectors with funds donated from the Eastside Tavern's summer fundraising effort. These smoke detectors are free to Mount Clemens residents while supplies last. Mount Clemens residents only need to verify their address to receive a free smoke detector at the fire station. Residents unable to drive or without transportation should contact the fire department directly at 586-469-6840, and a free smoke detector will be delivered to your home. Fire department wants to remind the community that early detection of a fire is the key to protecting your family and reducing property damage. A working smoke detector can save your life and your home. Get yours at the fire station located at 2 Dickinson Street. Our upcoming events: the 19th Annual Fire and Ice Chili Cook-Off Pub Crawl Fundraiser, which is Thursday, January 20th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
30.
Oh, it is 30.
I know, but you said 20.
Sorry about that. January 30th. You know what? I really love that event. I'm trying to move it up and get it here closer. Although I don't know how well
That
I'm
would be
going to make it around.
yesterday.
10 local establishments will compete for the highly coveted Chili Cook-Off crown. Tickets will be available soon at participating bars and restaurants. All proceeds to benefit the Anton Art Center and Mount Clemens Goodfellows. For more information, call 586-469-4168. And then we have the 19th Annual Ice Carving Show downtown, Saturday, February 1st and Sunday, February 2nd. If you're interested in sponsoring an ice sculpture for this year, the deadline for entries is Friday, January 24th. Contact the Downtown Development Authority office at 586-469-4168 or email mweiss@mountclemens.gov.
All right, does anybody have any questions or comments for Mr. Shipman? Okay. Then we will go ahead and move on to the second opportunity that we allow the public to participate in the meeting by addressing the commission. If you would like to, we ask again that you come to the microphone, give us your full name, residential address, and you abide by our 2-minute rule. We go ahead and welcome people to the microphone.
Because I thought of something after I sat down. Karen Bates Gazer, 147 Ludwig. Hearts for Homes can be found on the web at hearts4homes.org. And we do have a fundraiser coming up on March 13th, which is a euchre party. We had close to 80 people show up the last time we did it. It's a ton of fun. Helps us raise some funds. So come out, play some cards, have a good time, and help the homeless in your community. Thank you.
Are the details on your website?
The details are on our website and also on our Facebook page, which is Arts for Homes.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time? All right. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to commissioner comments, and we'll start with Commissioner Rick.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to thank everyone that came out today. Please continue to let us know your concerns, what we're missing, because we aren't everywhere, and we will inevitably miss some things. Please continue to let us know. We're trying to make it better. When in doubt, posting to Facebook's fine, but I really encourage everyone, if you have any kind of issue, even if you also call us or come here and tell us, also submit it online through the city's website using the report an issue, because that will create a electronic trail. So we've got records and everything, so it doesn't end up lost on a answering machine somewhere or anything. And it just helps us know if we get the same reports from multiple locations. It helps us isolate it. And if the normal ways aren't working, you have to come here. I'm sorry the normal ways didn't work, but we're working on it. As I alluded to before, thank you everyone who came to present for the CDBG block funding grant money. Thank you for all the work you're doing for the local community and the region. Big thanks to Scott Rocker for his 3 decades of work for the city and our residents. Today I'm going to do something a little different. If you are interested in serving your local community, we just had like 8 or 9 different groups come up and tell us ways that you can help. So consider contacting them and looking for a way to volunteer. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Commissioner Rick. Commissioner Calhoun.
Thank you to everyone who came and present for the community block grant funding, as Eric mentioned. Thank you for all you do for our communities, and I also want to speak to the residents who showed up, but the residents who particularly had comments about the post office, these long-standing issues. I think there have been a number of issues with the post office, and I think we're all aware. And so I'm looking forward to seeing a solution and having the post office come in and talk about what they can do to be a partner with us. I think it goes beyond. Even what's been talked about. I've had people complain about blight and trash that blows out from the parking lot that they have on their property, blows into the neighborhood, cross crash it. I think there's some real issues there, and they're a community partner with us. So I'd like to see them doing more to work with us, if you would please. Clean, and of course, thank you for bringing these concerns up in neighborhood groups and also bringing them here to us in the city. Hope we can find a resolution soon. Oh, I'm not done yet. I just forgot. Also, the issue with the delivery on deal also stems from this dog that has, is not taken. And so I'd like to I thank the folks who are, working hard to make sure that dogs are licensed, or animals in the community are licensed, but I also would like to look into situations like this to see how we can prevent them, because they're kids who live in neighborhoods, and we don't want them to get attacked walking to school. And I know that everyone's aware of the danger of that. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Fournier.
I would like to thank everyone for coming as well. This is always really hard for this one, because you want to give to just as Karn said, we want to give to everyone, and there's this limited amount of funds, but it's also incumbent on all of us as residents to support these organizations as well. And you do some amazing work, and I'm so grateful that you're here, and I hope we can do something for all of you. I also the Arts Center, the Anton Arts Center, is turning 55 this year, and we're having a little celebration on the 31st of January. Tickets are only $25, and there's a jazz concert and hors d'oeuvres and drinks, and it should be a really good time. So I hope everyone wants to get out of the house in this winter cold. I know it's cold out there, but it's warm inside. So come on out to the Anton, and tickets are available now. And again, congratulations to Scott Rocker for all his years of service. That's just amazing. And I agree with Commissioner Calhoun. I would like some follow-up on that dog. It just doesn't seem, and it's not just that time. We've had other instances, one our mayor is very familiar with, where these dogs, I love dogs very much, but they need to be controlled, and they can do, I've seen what dog bites can do as well. So I would really like some follow-up on that one. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner McGarity.
I too am also appreciative of everyone that came to the microphone regards of their requests and concerns. And I think that Commissioner Ricks said it right. It is all about communication. Don't assume That's what we are here for. So continue to bring your concerns to the city as well as your compliments to the city as well, so that they can be resolved. You don't bring them up, we don't know anything about it. I just wanted to share a few resource information in date order. This Thursday from 8 to 9:30 in the morning, I will leave this information out too. From 8 to 9:30 in the morning, there's a coffee hour session, and it's about changing negative self-talk. So it's an hour and a half, and it's about changing negative self-talk. And it might not be you. So maybe, you just might want to give it to someone else. I was sure hoping that for tonight. And then the next one it's an essay, and it's due February 28th, but I'm sure you all will get this. I just want to tell you a little bit about it. You answer the following prompt in 300 words or less for a chance to win a $100 gift card. And the ages are from 9 to 19. And guess what it's about? How can borrowing money or using credit, such as taking a loan or having a credit card, end up being a good decision, and when might it not? That's the perfect age for that. So those are essays available, $100 a 9-year-old could get, imagine. And then the other thing, this is through MSU Extension in Clinton Township on Dunham Road. On February 4th, Tuesday at 5:30, it's a crash court credit survival, discovering the secrets to mastering credit with a class that's anything but boring. It was really good. From understanding credit scores to unlocking tips for smart spending, they're going to break down the basics to help you build a solid financial future individually. And they have a site that you could register, or you can call them, and you can learn how you can win a $100 gift card by just sharing your knowledge on credit. Okay. And then last, Macomb Community Action Center still has a lot of funding for water bills. Thank goodness we're starting to get, not thank goodness, but we're getting calls for people who are being disconnected or in close to being disconnected of their service. If you have any questions or concerns, just give us a call. Macomb Community Action for water from Mount Clemens. The most that they can pay is a $3,000 bill. There is a transportation department if you are 62 and older or on disability. It's free. It takes you to and from the doctor's office within our city. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave this as well, or just call Macomb Community Action Center at 586-469-6964. And everybody stay safe, warm, but look out for your neighbors. You don't see them coming out, hopefully, because it's too cold, but I'm getting a few calls. Seniors are afraid to turn up their heat because they cannot afford it, is what I've been told twice. That's painful to hear. So go over, and if they don't, you can't make them, but take an extra comforter or something over there, or some warm soup. Look out for our neighbors here in Mount Clemens. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner York.
Yes, I thank you all too for coming and speaking, and so I won't repeat everything that was already said. And I am looking forward to further conversations about how we can help get involved to solve some of the problems that were brought up here tonight. I think we've been hearing about them again and again. Earlier this week, we celebrated the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. and talked amongst me and my team at Henry Ford how this was a season of serving, and we were thinking really challenging and encouraging each of us to think how we could serve. But the presentations here tonight just remind me that there are so many ways that we can all give back. Whether it's helping to serve a meal, or donating from your pocket, or going to a youth party. So I encourage you to think about that. And actually, all of us here tonight are serving in some way. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you. Commissioner McGarity, do you want a mulligan?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So on Monday, on the 20th, it's an annual event. The Macomb County Ministerial Alliance hosts MLK breakfast. It's every year, same day. And it started this year for the first time at 8 o'clock to 9 to network. so people can get to know each other. What do you do? What can I help you with? Haven't seen you in a long time. Let's connect. And it worked. It really worked. And so at 9 o'clock, the program began and it was oversold, but it was phenomenal. Everyone, I believe, left with a power and some hope, working together. You had politicians, you had residents, you had churches, senators, mayors, our Madam Mayor and Commissioner were there as well. The other commissioner, she couldn't make it, but she was going to be there. But it was an experience. If you have not went to a MLK breakfast, I encourage you to go next year. Step out and go next year. It is the group that sang. The food is good. It's just phenomenal. And so Mount Clemens represented well. And I will end with this. It was really good. But Mount Clemens residents from Mount Clemens schools won all of the essays, scholarship money. All 3 of our Mount Clemens residents won the scholarship money. That says a lot. It was the county. It was people from all over. And to win the scholarship money, they were from the city that we serve, that we live in. Neighbors helping neighbors. I'm done, I promise. I promise. Thank you for being there.
It's my pleasure. We'll start with one, piggybacking on Commissioner Rick, your comment. One thing helpful when reporting an issue through the city's website, to make sure, sometimes, people they start typing and they get real, they're just trying to get whatever they're ticked off about onto the screen, and I get it, and into the email. But often, I can't tell you how often, Elaine is yelling at her computer screen because there's no address or no way for us to contact the person back, because they don't leave an email address, they don't leave a phone number, or they don't leave their address. So there's, almost 16,000 people who live in Mount Clemens. We can't just call everyone to see if they wrote the email. So please make sure that you just leave a way for us to contact you so that we can help solve the problem, because we definitely want to do that. I will be having another opportunity to come and voice some concerns or to hear about some of the great things we're doing. Is my monthly coffee talks that I hold. I do hold those twice a month. Coming up in February, I will have one February 11th. It's a Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. At John's Family Grill. And then February 13th, that's a Thursday, at 6:30 p.m. at Black Cat Coffee. So I encourage everyone to come and attend and have some conversations about what's going on in Mount Clemens. And it's a very casual environment, and we just talk, and we really try to get to what's going on, what's going on your street, and what's going on a bigger level. But I invite the conversation. I've been serving as an elected official in Mount Clemens for 9 years, and I can tell you that I have been complaining about the post office for 9 years, and probably, yeah, you're right. And I have done a lot of things to try to work cooperatively with the post office. One of the issues has been that they have a new postmaster about every 6 months, and that has been an ongoing issue for at least 9 years. And I will say that this is, what was it, last week? Was it last week? Yeah, we finally made a phone call and actually got to the postmaster. And it was just one phone call, and that is the first time in 9 years. So and that postmaster was very receptive and so I'm hopeful that we can keep her for the next more than 6 months. But I am hopeful that we have a contact, we have a person, and that we will now be able to work together and cooperatively with the post office to try to deal with, because there are issues with there are a lot of issues with the post office in general, the Mount Clemens post office. So we continue to be in contact with John James's office, our congressman. They are trying to work that angle in terms of, because it is a federal institution, it's not a city institution. So we are trying to work from different angles on trying to make the post office a better institution within our community, and we will do that. I too share your concerns about dogs in our community. 2020, February 2020, my son was bit in the face by a dog on the street. So I completely am frustrated with the situation as well, and understand the dangers that are out there with. And we are dog owners. We have 2 dogs and love dogs, and so I understand your frustration, and we'll work to solve that. And what else do I have? CDBG funding. CDBG funding is unfair. I hate to use that word because it sounds weak, but it is. A community that is considered a non-entitlement community has some of the greatest need in the county. We have 27% of the low-income housing of the county, but yet we receive the most, or one of the smallest allocations in the county of CDBG funding. It's so counterintuitive to me. It makes no sense. Call your congressman, because it is a federal. It's a federal formula that I don't think a mathematician can actually solve that formula, and it's not fair. But it is unfortunately the $13,700 that we do receive. And you see, I mean, just by this, there were several organizations that didn't show up tonight who are doing wonderful things in the community that also requested money from us, and we should give it to them. But there's so much need. There's so much need. So I know that we just came off the holiday season, and a lot of people take that opportunity to give to organizations like who presented tonight. But I'll tell you, the need doesn't go away at Christmas. The need doesn't go away after Christmas. It actually gets worse. It gets so much worse. So I would encourage all of you, if you have extra minutes in your day, or extra blankets laying around, or extra peanut butter and jelly supplies laying around, or anything. It doesn't have to be a significant check that you can hand over to an organization. If you have that money, I encourage you to do that too. But it's more than that, and being a good member of your community and helping where you can serve is always encouraged. And I of course want to a member of our Mount Clemens City community, Scott Rocker. He did an excellent job with always making sure that he went above and beyond for the residents of Mount Clemens for 29 years. So I too want to thank him. Don't want to miss that opportunity to say thank you for your years of service and for all that you did while you were here. Mount Clemens was so represented at the MLK breakfast, and they kept coming up. I almost felt like embarrassed that it was like, oh, Mount Clemens, and it's a good problem to have, right? So thank you to Commissioner McGarity, because I know you had a lot of planning behind that event, and you gave of yourself to make that happen. So thank you for doing that and for providing us that opportunity to serve that morning. So with that, I have nothing further, and will entertain a motion to adjourn. Any questions or comments? All right, all those in favor? Any opposed? All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.